As promised, DeanOwen from DeanOwenCPA is sitting down with me. And Dean, the last time we were here, it was Election Day.
It was.
So now we know what's going to go forward. So what can we expect?
Well, we expected the outcome is not what most people expected. So what we're seeing in the trade magazines is there's probably not as high a likelihood of a radical increase in taxes in a very short order. But at the same time, looking at history, traditionally when America has had this problem with a very, very high national debt, we've been able to come out of that with productivity and tax increases. If we remember back to Ronald Reagan's presidency, he did lower taxes, but only to raise them back 2 years later. So we're still on the fence that says we're likely to see higher taxes in the not too distant future, which opens up opportunities and gives us time to plan and to make things like Roth conversions, to figure out what do we want to do with taxes. Since we are unfamiliar with, we don't know exactly what 2025 is going to do, we're recommending if you're a business owner and you're going to make big equipment purchases or other big expenses, you may want to wait until next year unless you need the deduction this year. But of course, as we go through the end of the year, there's always the constant end of year changing, which means if you're a business owner, do you want to accelerate revenue or expenses, or do you want to push revenue forward and then pull expenses forward? Which one do you need to do to make your taxes come out right? It's all about bracket management. You want to be able to manage your current tax bracket so that you're in the lowest bracket possible and you stay there. Coming at the end of the year, if you've got investment gains or losses, looking at how to harvest those. You know, 22 was a tough year in the market for a lot of folks, and we saw a lot of passive losses, which can only be offset with passive gains. So does it make sense to go ahead and sell some winners now, let them set for 60 days, and then you can buy them back. And what you're doing is you're creating those passive income generators to offset some losses that would have just sat on your tax return for a long period of time. Or do you need to take passive income losses? Do you need to do some go through your portfolio and selling some losses to offset other gains? So that's a big thing people need to do. Let's look at our retirement accounts. Have we funded them as fully as we can? Can we get a little bit extra money in there? If you've got HSAs, can we get those funded before the end of the year? We've still got time to put in Section 105 plans for business owners, which lets you take your health care off as a business expense. But we're coming up, a week from next week's Thanksgiving. After that, you're going to have a real small window of a couple weeks to get some things done, and then Christmas is upon us, and then New Year's, and then the clock resets.
So we really need to get our questions together and get to you so we can, at least if we can't tie up the end of the year, we can start off next year
Absolutely.
Ready to go, correct?
Absolutely. We've still got some time to do a little bit of planning right now, but there's not much time left.
All right. Well, Dean, thank you for being with me today. You've been a wealth of information as always. If you would like to revisit this segment of Home Experts, log on to WPSDlocal6.com/homeexperts. Up next, Mike Trout with Window World of Paducah will be here, and we're going to talk about how you can still get those holiday remodels done before the holidays. That's up next on WPSD Local 6 Midday.